This video is my last video I'm ever posting anywhere for probably for good. I have been a prisoner in my own home with no escape, no way out.
How's it going, everybody? Cyraxx is the living embodiment of don't meet your heroes right now, because as he claims, he was a huge fan of Wavy Web Surfer, and Wavy Web Surfer done him so wrong. He put RAGES getting arrested in a video, and RAGES just wasn't going to take it anymore, guys. He can't take this no more. And he told Wavy it's all going down his channel, bye-bye, he is now a detractor, hater, and RAGES is finally going to stand up for himself. And how is he going to stand up for himself? Well, he's kicking it old school. He's going back on panel, raging at Wavy Web Surfer, quote unquote Wavy Web Surfer, and anyone trying to step in his way. He's got important things going on right now, like working on getting sued by Nintendo himself, as he makes a new game like based off of it. And if he was looking at the recent news of what Nintendo's doing, I wouldn't mess with that at all, because Nintendo, they can be scum sometimes. Or just about everything they ever do, because they want to stay lazy. Very similar to RAGES. He should apply for a job. He might get one. But who am I kidding? RAGES would rather rage on panel, or not even on panel. He'll just scream all night into his camera until Sally and Ed are thinking about going to a Motel 6 just to get a little bit of sleep. Because the only way RAGES is going to get some sleep is by screaming. We all knew that RAGES probably raged himself to sleep every single night, but no, it's confirmed now. He literally was screaming until he passed out, and then he wakes up like 45 minutes later, doesn't miss a beat, a literal one-track mind. So let's go ahead and get right into this video with RAGES telling the APD they better watch themselves, because he's the god of these streets. And you guys know the saying, you don't want to box with God. Just ask Big T, it went so well for him. It really did.
What, you think you're gonna run me off the internet? I'm the god of the internet, bro. See, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to convince Akron PD to open a case against me to try to have me arrested, but here's the kicker. It's not gonna work. You wanna know why it's not gonna work? Because I have nothing to hide. I know what you're going to try to do. You're going to try to sit there and say, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I can easily prove that wrong. So quick. And why don't you explain to WavyWebSurf, your little new friend, and the Akron PD if they do show up on panel tonight, how you have openly told me, my family, my friends, and the rest of the internet that I'm not allowed to make money, I'm not allowed to have friends, I'm not allowed to make a living. I'm working on a whole ass brand new cartoon series that you ain't ever gonna know about, that's about to be bigger than Pokemon, bigger than Digimon, bigger than Yu-Gi-Oh, bigger than Power Rangers, bro. I'm over here working on shit like that. Fun fact, did you know that by getting a police officer on your live stream, whether it's recorded or not, somebody's going to record it and it's going to be put out there on the internet. Now, fun fact, did you know that if you do that, I can take that, show it to the police, and he can lose his job, and you can get arrested as well for the shit that you're doing. What about the $9,000+ in property damage to me personally, including 3 Xboxes, one computer that's worth over $1,000, 2 hard drives, and a secondary computer. That's over $9,000 in property damage. Not to mention taking my name, ripping it from when I was in prison, from when I was in jail last year, taking my name, lifting it from that, copying it, and then pasting my name on a fake legal document.
Cyraxx, there was literally a police report written up about you saying, listen, Cyraxx is threatening the APD right now, and like, we're not that concerned about it. He's a 43, but we're just going to take notice of it. But this is what he's doing. And Cyraxx is on here saying like, listen, the stuff the detractors are saying right now isn't true, and I can't get arrested for that. And it's like, you're probably right, Cyraxx. They've never paid attention to it once, but that's not what they're talking about at the moment. They're literally saying that you're threatening them and that they should take watch of it. To the point, a police officer showed up at your house and was saying, hey dude, you gotta stop this. But apparently, until we get the body cam, we can't confirm this, but I don't believe it at all. But you was mouthing off to them. You're lucky you didn't get arrested. Like myself and probably everyone listening to this would have been arrested. But they don't believe in you and they don't care about you one bit, Cyraxx, because you get on their nerves. So they're just saying, hey look, we should be aware of this. Don't take it too seriously. But what are you doing? You're having an absolute meltdown. You're thinking that one of the officers is going to come onto panel, and I can only hope that one of the officers actually shows up and explains in full detail what you put them through. And I don't think you like sitting there screaming, I'm gonna make the next Pokemon game. You guys don't understand what I go through every day. I'm a musical genius. I just don't think they're gonna care that much. And also, it's very funny that out of all the things that you could be planning on stealing and copying, it would be Pokemon. They will sue you, Cyraxx. Nintendo is the worst of the worst when it comes to suing people over their intellectual properties. Did you not notice what happened to Pal World? People were like, whoa, Pokemon could really improve their game. Like, I don't really like Pal World too much. I wish this would happen in Pokemon. And Nintendo saw that and was like, what? They want us to stop being lazy and making the same game over and over again, paying for DLCs that they shouldn't even have to in the first place, giving them crappy open worlds that no one except a 5-year-old would be entertained by? No, we're not going to allow that. We're suing them so no one gets that in their mind again. And that's the person you want to copy off of? Go right ahead. They literally just put a copyright on the evolution mechanic. Oh no, it wasn't the evolution mechanic, but that's probably next. It was catching things and then using them in battle. So just imagine how Cyraxx normally does art and music by literally stealing everything. It's not gonna look too good.
See, what you don't realize, William, is you're being watched. You're being very closely watched, and you don't even realize it. And I know I shouldn't say anything, but the reason I say something is because I know that you ain't gonna do shit except continue your f***ing garbage that you do. Now, what do you think is gonna happen when the FBI comes down on you eventually, and they start looking through all your stuff, and they undelete, untrash, bring back everything that you deleted from the trash, from the internet, from your messages? You don't think they ain't gonna go back and rip that shit up really quick? I may have done some shit to f*** up. So what? So what? No one in the real world gives a f*** about you and what you think and what you have to say. See, the only thing that you got going for you is the fact that you got all these videos of me raging out and me doing shit that I felt that I had to do to shut you motherfuckers down. Whether it was illegal or not is irrelevant. The fact of the matter remains that all you have against me is me raging out. And all those rage outs were for legitimate reasons, because I got fed up. You think that you getting up on Wavy Web Forums panel is going to do anything for you? It's really not, because I'm just going to shut that panel down. Because see, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have one of my people get me the link, and have some words for Wavy, and explain to him. And then all I got to do is have my family email him all the shit we have on you. All the shit we have on the troll community. All the stuff that CIA has on you. That I have on you. That all my friends have on you, William. See, here's the problem. What you fail to comprehend is I have backups of everything from the last 6 years. Don't even think about getting that officer on panel. Here's why. The minute you get that officer on panel, whether he's on duty or off duty, it does not matter. All I gotta do is take and screen record that, or have somebody send me a screenshot of it from the stream, which I can then take down to the chief of police, and that officer will then be fired. And then that'll open up a bigger investigation for me on you. Because what's going to happen is the chief of police is going to see that one of his guys was on a live stream. You're only digging yourself a deeper hole that you ain't never going to be able to crawl out of. Yeah, sure, I might not have a lawyer right now. I might not have money right now, and that may be true. But the one thing you're forgetting, never underestimate the power of the internet. Never underestimate the power of my friends, or my connections, or my way of being able to get shit done. If I was you, I'd sleep with one eye open tonight, because you never know when you're going to hear that from the cops on the door. So, sleep with one eye open, and just remember, you can run all you want, but you can't hide forever, because eventually you will get found, and you will get brought to justice. So, run while you can. It ain't gonna last long.
Could you imagine like a robber? I mean, I guess they do almost every single time they're caught, but a dude like robs a store, and as he's getting arrested, they pull out a bunch of like electronics, things like that, and he's like, listen man, I was just trying to feed my family, like what else am I supposed to do out here? You guys got me messed up. And it's like, Cyraxx, it doesn't matter if you think you have to take the illegal option in this world, it's always the wrong answer for the most part. You should never do anything that's going to get you in trouble legally. Like listen, raging out on the internet is one thing, getting some laughs from some people with something, but if you're like doing things that your police department has taken notice of, then you really gotta calm down. And let's be real here, you messed up a month ago, dude. Like, you can't keep doing these things and expecting to get away free. You may be a 43, but you won't be free forever. And when it comes to the APD officer, if he was any smart, he just wouldn't provide any proof that it's actually him. If you actually went to the police chief of the apartment, he'd be like, hey, isn't this the guy who calls us like 150 times and we got like something written up about him that he's been threatening us? Let's pull him into the interrogation room. I don't think you would really like to go meet the police chief because he might have some stern words for you, Cyraxx, and you tend to melt down when anyone challenges you at all, and I don't think he'll take too kindly of you yelling in his face. And then Wavy Web Surfer, who you did get to trim out the section of you getting arrested in the video, which he even admitted himself was like an overreaction because you was threatening to report his channel, but we'll talk more about that in a second because Rax says something incredibly funny here soon. But he goes on to say like, look, yeah, Cyraxx isn't too much of a threat, I don't know what I was thinking, but here guys, here's a link to the entire video with Cyraxx still in it. So you didn't do anything except bring more notice to the fact that you got arrested in his video, which was like, what, an hour into it or something like that? Most people wouldn't have made it that far, Cyraxx, but you brought more attention to it than it even deserved.
So, William, you really have it in your head that everything's going to go the way that you want it, right? You really think that it's going to go the way that you want, but you're wrong. Because I have a little message for that officer that you're going to have on panel. I'm telling you right now, motherfucker, you go on that panel, I will have your job yanked. So to the police officer that came out here to tell me to stay off the internet, one, you, I'm allowed to be on the internet all I want. It's my right. I have every right to be on the internet, including you, William Glory Hope. You think it's gonna end the way you want? No, it won't. It ain't gonna end the way that you want. It's gonna end with you getting arrested and locked in prison, William. And as for the rest of your little friends, some of them are going to go with you. And as for the officer, if you want to lose your job, if you value your job, I highly suggest you not go on that panel. Because if you do, I will have you fired. I suggest not going on that panel, because it will not end the way that you think it will. Because one, I'm not getting arrested, because guess what, I'm not doing shit wrong, and I have all the proof in the world to back it up. So no, I'm not getting arrested, I'm not going to jail, I'm not going to prison. If anything, I'm going to sit my ass right here in this motherfucking chair and chill out and hang out with my friends and do my job as a content creator, as an animator, as a music artist, until the day comes that I have to go down to the DA office, which I'm going to be doing this week. And when I do go down to the DA office, what do you think they're going to say when my family shows them everything on how you failed to do your jobs? I know you know something about it for a very good reason, because damn near every cop up in Akron PD knows who I am by face, by name, and by case. So you can't sit there and lie to my face and say that you don't know something about it. That's lying, you know it. So to the officer that came out here, unless you want to challenge me in court and have your job ripped from you and have the Akron PD look like a joke because of your up, my family has gone to you guys well over 120 times by now. Well over 120 times by now. Begging you motherfuckers for help, asking you to take this up the chain of command, when we couldn't do it because FBI won't take our case. So we ask you guys to take it to them for us, show them the evidence, open up an investigation on these people. But yeah, you don't do it.
Rax, it's basically confirmed that when a new officer joins the APD, they send them to your house as a rib, like, check this out. This is what we got to deal with every single day. That's what they do. You're the town joke. No one takes you serious. There's a reason that you're saying you called over 150 times. An officer literally came up there and gave you a pretty good solution. Stay off the internet, and then this wouldn't happen. You was gone for a couple of months, and I didn't hear much from you. Yeah, you probably dealt with some crap, but it probably wasn't near as much as what's going on right now. So what makes you think in your mind that if you just yell at them enough and say that you're going to sue them, that things will miraculously change for you? And everyone listening to this video probably feels very similar. I don't want to take a PD to the courts because guess what? They know the judge, they deal with them all the time. They're probably going to win. The judge is going to look at this and say, well, you are doing a lot of illegal stuff, and the only solution that I can think of is you staying off the internet. Maybe giving this guy some jail time will set him straight a little bit. It's just so baffling that you think that you can get into contact with these people, like literally talk to officers almost every single day, and think that they're going to work with you even in the slightest. I don't respond very well to people screaming at me. I cut them off quickly. The PD probably feels very similar. So no matter how much you scream, yell in their face, it's not going to change much. But there's a difference between me and them. They can arrest you, they can take you to jail, and it won't be a very fun time for you. You was shivering the entire time you was in jail. You wanted out of there fast, and you was just lucky that Sally bailed you out. You have got tons of proof that the APD doesn't care, they don't take this serious, and the FBI agents that you contacted, they didn't care either. They told you it was a local problem. And what is the local police saying? Well, it's not our problem either. So this is up to you to figure out. The police isn't just someone you can call to meet every single demand that you have. There's rules that have to be followed. And to them, they don't care. So maybe you should take their advice, get off the internet, and stop screaming all night. And it's kind of funny, you can see through the little crack in the window. He started in the evening time, It's now slowly becoming night, and he's just gonna keep on going.
Like I told you the last time you were out here, you can do it, you just don't want to, cause you're lazy. You're lazy. You don't want to do your job. You and the rest of the APD have failed me and my mother family. We showed you everything that's going on. We gave you all the information that we got. So it should be your job to then be like, alright, we'll take this information and we'll open an investigation on these people. It's not that hard. People show up to my house, step on my property, I defend myself and my property. Oh, what happens? I get falsely arrested. This guy Big T shows up to my house. We tell y'all what's going on. We show you the footage, but he doesn't get arrested, does he? I know my human rights. I know the Constitution. I know all the laws here in Ohio now better than I did when I first moved up here. And trust me, over the years of me being with, you kind of get to know the laws really well, what's legal and not legal. And what these motherfuckers are doing far exceeds being illegal. After what I just went through, I am beyond devastated. I just went up on panel 3 different times to confront William Gloryhole and his friends. Little did I know that one of my favorite YouTubers that I grew up watching that inspired me to get into making videos, Wavy WebSurfs, who I used to watch all the time. I had been watching since like I was 20, 21 years old. Then I tell this man, look, if you don't take that video down, rightfully I would have the right to do this because he's not following what I'm saying. I told him straight up that I'm by mass reporting it because he does not have my permission or my say-so or my consent to post a video with me in it. He does not have that right. And by doing so, he is invading privacy. Yeah, I know it might not look like it right now. I'm sure some of you can tell. But you have no idea how hard I am fighting to not fully break down in tears right now. Because one of the people that inspired me is now an enemy. And that shit hurts.
Rax, the APD literally told you what you did wrong during the AOM situation when you was kicking it old school and showing us those baseball skills, because if you guys don't know, Cyraxx claims he could have been a pro baseball player, but those pesky shoulders of his got in the way, if you could even say that. It's because you stepped out of your own property and then went at him, because he has the right to protest, so that's why you got arrested. Probably didn't help none that you bugged them nonstop. But I will say this, like, the only thing that I can say is, I don't know how Big T didn't get arrested when he came to your house and got into an altercation with Ed and yourself. Like, I really do think he probably should have been arrested for that. If it was anyone else's house he went to and did that thing, he would have been gone for sure. But Rax is forgetting or just, like, sweeping it a little bit. Big T did get arrested shortly after that, but it wasn't because of, like, the altercation he got in with you guys. It's because the altercation he got into with his dad, and the APD seen Big T's father as a far more reputable person than you guys. If you wouldn't call the cops nonstop, if you wouldn't have this ridiculous stuff going on, they would have arrested him. They might have taken your side on the AOM thing, but since you do this kind of stuff, like threatening them, they're not going to deal with you in the slightest. But now we get to move on to Wavy Web Surfer and Cyraxx's problems with him, and we get some great Cyraxx moments here. You're such a big fan of him, aren't you, Cyraxx? I've never heard you mention him once. When you brought up your favorite content creators before, he was never in that discussion until now, until it's relevant to you, so you can get on stream and try to get some sympathy points from Absolutely nobody. And one of the things about content creation, music production, just basically anything in the world, is having connections and making friends. And you really went off on a good start with Wavy, didn't you? You threatened to mass report his channel, falsely may I add, because he has all the rights in the world to put that in his video. But what does Cyraxx say? He's like, listen, since Wavy Web Surfer didn't listen to every single demand that I made of him, even though he did cut out the clip, I've lost all respect for him. He doesn't know what me and my family go through. I made sure my mom and my stepdad watched that video at least 40 times so we could comb through it, figure out everything that he did wrong so I can report it to the APD, who I am actively threatening. And it's so crazy because it's not up to RAGES if Wavy Web Surfer takes that down. It's up to YouTube if they find it bad. And guess what? He was able to upload it with ads with no problem. You're the one who's actually in the wrong here. You just can't mass report a channel because they say something you don't like. And when it comes to Wavy, this isn't like doing that to someone like me or anyone else in the community, because we're smaller than Wavy. Wavy probably has some very big connects in YouTube. He just calls them up like, hey, this guy right here is mass reporting my channel. Yeah, all right, we're gonna get that solved, thank you. Just like with the APD, you just can't start slinging out demands and expect everyone to listen to you, especially when you're threatening their entire livelihood. That's just one good way to make sure someone has no respect for you and never wants to deal with you again.
But me, I give a about my people. And y'all already know I care about y'all, man. I have nothing but love for each and every single one of you guys that shows love and support to me. I appreciate and love every single one of you guys. And y'all know damn well, if y'all were going through something, y'all know damn well I'd be like, yo, let's get you the help you need, bro. Or, if you're a friend of mine and you're a supporter, yo, what's going on? Talk to me. Or even if you're not a friend and you're still a supporter, I'm going to take time out of my day to talk to you, to listen to your problems, because I know what it's like to go through hell. I guess telling the truth doesn't matter anymore, does it? I guess telling the truth is the unpopular thing anymore, right? I guess it's better to fucking spread a lie about that isn't true, and take evidence and twist it into something that is not, and make somebody out to be a liar, right? That's the new popular thing. That's what we're doing now. You know, that's what it's gonna come to. Then I want no part of it. I would rather be broke and be real as than to be famous and lie. If that's what it's going to come down to, then I want nothing to do with it. Period. I want nothing to do with it if that's what it's going to come to. So as of this moment, I am retiring from YouTube entirely. I was peaceful with you. I was kind to you in that email that I sent. I gave you a chance, dude. I gave you a chance. I figured you would want to hear my story. I figured that you would want to hear me out. But no, you don't. I was raised to know right from wrong, and what you're doing is wrong, bro. And that's the difference between me and you, Wavy. You can ask anybody that knows me in real life. Not once have I ever forgotten where I came from. Because unlike you, I stay grounded in my roots. I stay grounded in my mother roots. Because the minute you forget where you come from, you lose yourself, and you have sadly lost yourself to the point to where there's no coming back for you. And that's sad. But me, I'm gonna still be here, I'm gonna still be me. And I ain't stopping for nobody.
Oh yes, Cyraxx, you've never forgotten where you came from. Do you remember when you was raised for like the first 9 years of your life by Gordon, and as soon as Gordon disagreed with how you was acting online, you disowned him, you tried to threaten to get into an altercation with his wife and Gordon, who was sick with cancer at the time, just completely degenerate stuff, And when Gordon and his wife decided to bring you back to Florida to try to give you a better life, what did you do? You flooded their bathroom, yelled at Gordon's wife until we had to come home and send you packing all the way back to Ohio, which you would have been stranded there if it wasn't for a teacher that you knew in the past. But you don't forget your roots, and you're a great friend, except for Vita, the only person I've ever seen come onto a panel to try to defend you. But when it got bad for Vita, you abandoned him. And when Vita calls you like, listen, Rax, you gotta come and help me. I tried to help you. You was like, nah, man, don't even worry about it. This happens to me all the time. You shouldn't have came on panel with me in all honesty, but okay, if you insist. So he goes back on panel, takes his shirt off, starts screaming a little bit more, and just thankfully Vita was forgiven. You have no respect for your roots, and you have no respect for your family. You could literally care less about any of those unless it benefits you. The way you treat Sally and Ed is literally just a sign of that. You started yelling at them about absolutely nothing because you was screaming all night and they just wanted some sleep. You don't care about other people. You're the one putting up an act. You just want to tell your 7-year story and hope that people have enough sympathy so they give you a little bit of money. And I can't imagine Wavy Web Surfer reading even a portion of your email because you said you told him your whole life story. You thought he would have been interested. If he even looked at it a little bit, he'd be like, you did what now? You did that too? Oh my gosh, this is one of the most degenerate guys on the internet. I should put that clip back up.
I guess the only thing that they say is true. Never meet your heroes or your idols. They'll let you down. Now, I've had a lot of good experiences with idols of mine and heroes of mine that I've gotten to meet over the years. I've had a lot of good experiences. Don't get me wrong. But this right here is one of the ones that I am deeply, deeply heartbroken and very disappointed about. Because WavyWebSurfs was one of the people that got me making content. It was him, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and Slaptrain. Those are the guys that got me making content. You know, I have spent hundreds and thousands of hours honing my craft as a content creator, as a musician and music artist. As a film creator, as an anime artist, I have done so much. I have spent hundreds of hours putting myself out there, honing my craft, honing my skills. But where did it get me? You know, I have been praised by some of the biggest musicians in the world that I've had the pleasure to meet thanks to friends of mine. I have been praised and told how good I am by several, and I do mean several, musicians and music artists that I looked up to as a kid that I grew up listening to. They took notice. And that's what kept me going. I have no money. I can't afford a lawyer. Legal aid here in Ohio does not exist. A pro bono lawyer refuses to take the case on. I have all this talent in the world. I can rap, I can sing, I can scream, I can do all of that. I know how to play guitar, piano, all that. But yet, my talent gets me nowhere at all. My talent literally gets me nowhere at all. And I don't know what the to do. I don't know how to fight this. I refuse to stay calm when it comes to these people that don't deserve to be treated like human beings. I refuse to show them any morsel of respect. I intend to show them every bit of disrespect that they deserve.
Oh yeah, Cyraxx, everybody and their mom believes you. If you had 7 famous celebrities who were praising you, you would not be in the position that you're in. They would have looked at you one time and said, man, that guy, he is a PR dream. But then they would have talked to you for a second and realized you're a PR nightmare. You could have had so much success if you would have just been like a horror movie cameo guy. They wouldn't even have to use any special effects. You would have been golden. But this is the life you choose to lie, say that people know you and care about you, and you are going to be the next big thing. But that's not the truth of the matter. The only reason you're known is because you rage out on the internet, and you're one of the most popular people who does it. There's not many people who could say they have millions and millions of views for being angry. Now, I don't know if that's something you can brag about, something you could take to the family events and be like, look what I've achieved in life, but you know, it's something at least. And you've really fine-tuned this skill, because in the next segment that I'm going to show you guys, RAGES completely passes out. He's been raging for so long, it literally puts him to sleep. It's like a lullaby. Sally in the past has said that Cyraxx only sleeps about 2 to 3 hours, then he's up for like 10, then he sleeps another 2 or 3 hours. He really doesn't have a sleep schedule. And it makes sense. Cyraxx has never had a job. He hasn't had to have a routine since he was in high school around 23 years old. So he's had around 12 to 10 years to really work on this. And it was just absolutely hilarious. Just keep an eye on Cyraxx as he's complaining about stuff, and you slowly see him start to drift to sleep. Even though he's in prime rage mode, then he goes into sympathy racks, and then all of a sudden, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, just keep an eye on him.
I have no way to help my family pay bills, to pay for doctor's visits, to pay for appointments and surgeries. I have no way to be able to do anything. And it makes me sick to my stomach. I wish I didn't have to feel this way. I wish I didn't have to be in fear. I wish to God that I could live a normal life again. I really do. I wish to God I could turn back time and live a normal life again. Y'all have no idea how bad I want to go back and change things, but can't. Y'all have no idea how many times in a week I dream about living a normal life again, being able to go outside again, being able to go places without being stared at, without being in fear, being able to go places with friends and hang out with people and lead a normal life again like I used to. That's all I want, is to live a normal life again, to be able to game out with my friends on Xbox and be able to go to concerts and be able to, you know, show support to friends' bands and, you know, go out to restaurants with my family without having to be followed. I have been a prisoner in my own home with no escape, no way out. Now you guys know what it's like for me every day.
How do you do this? Is this how his entire family has to fall asleep, even himself included? Just hearing him rage out until he eventually peters off, like you hear the words trailing, "I'm going to take everyone down." Then all of a sudden you hear, 1 Marty, 2 William, 3 Emmer Boy. It's like, I couldn't imagine saying like, man, my house is a prison, and then passing out. That would probably lead to some terrible dreams. But you know what Cyraxx's dreams are. It's probably him still complaining. He thought he was still going for a minute, and then he wakes up and doesn't even miss a beat. He's like, yeah, guys, and that's my life story. It's like the opening to the Eminem When I'm Gone music video. Except RAGES has never faced any form of addiction. It's just him putting himself in his place every single day. And if you're so tired that you literally pass out while talking, how do you only sleep for 45 minutes? That's like a 10-hour straight sleep if like it's any other normal person. But I guess it doesn't require a lot to keep Rags going. He's an anomaly for sure. But I guess that's enough for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, use the new hype feature, comment down below, follow all the socials as well, and I'll catch you guys next time.